alert!
What's up, boys? Today we have the UFC retard tier list. I think this will be a good one. So we've got at the top full tard, then you got mild tard, right? So it's not, you're like right there, but you're kind of like, it's like when you got hot sauce and it's like mild instead of like extra spicy or whatever. Half a tard, which is, self-explanatory. Slight tard, so, just a slight touch of the tism. And then non-tard, which is just, non-tard. So that's it. Let's get right into it. Starting with Jiri Prochazka. Wow, this one's hard because, anyway. Anything under this is just unfair. I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be. Who else in the UFC punches trees, freaking before the fight, he stands and he stares like this, and then Jiri Prochazka has got to be, of anyone on this list, starting with him is I don't think you can get higher than this guy. So it's actually good that he's the first one because everyone else is going to have to be right there behind him. Again, punches trees in the woods. Freaking, he's a white guy from Poland, but he thinks he's a samurai. His haircut, he's got the giant ponytail. Sometimes he cuts it off, but the giant sort of ponytail that swings around in his fights. And then that's not even talking about his fighting style. When he gets in the octagon, his hands down, blocks punches with his head. Was fighting Alex Pereira and was blocking punches with his forehead. You'll never see another Jiri Prochazka, bro. He has to be at the top of this list, so it's very appropriate. Ian Garry. Oof. Ian Garry. Ian Garry's tricky, right? He says a lot of dumb things. To be honest with you. The way he fights is pretty normal. He doesn't fight that stupid, to be honest with you. He fights pretty safe. He doesn't fight like, well, this guy's a nut job. He fights pretty normal. So in the octagon, he's not retarded. Outside of the octagon, a lot of his interviews, I feel like he kind of plays a bit of a character. The arrogant sort of Irish guy. I'm going to win the title and I'm going to knock out Joaquin Buckley. And, he's playing a character. I'm going to knock out Carlos Prates. And he says Carlos Prates instead of Carlos Prates like everybody else. I know it's properly said Prates, but still. He thinks he's Portuguese when he's not. I'm pretty sure his wife's ex-husband was Portuguese. I'm pretty sure his last name, the Machado part, is his wife's last name. But it's also not her real last name because it's just really confusing. I think his wife's last name is actually her ex-husband's last name. So Ian Garry has his wife's ex-husband's last name. You guys get what I'm trying to say. Basically, he's a cuck. But he does play a character in his interviews. I don't think he actually is that delusional, to be honest with you. I think he's using it for promotion. It's not good promotion, but it's promotion. But the whole cuck thing, oof. I'll say half. Just because, dude, but being a cuck might make you full retard, to be honest with you. Remember that time he said he wanted to be a black man too? Oh. Should I do mild? Let's do mild, I think. Let's do mild. I think that's fair. He's not full. He's definitely not full. That's not fair. He has to be mild. So, speaking of mild, well, I don't know where that correlates with this guy, but Michael Chandler, speaking of mild, where's the correlation? Full. Has to be. The way he fights, let alone, right? Just alone, is insane. Dude makes all the worst decisions possible. Dude slams himself back. He does all these things. Next thing you know, bro, Chandler fights, and he's always fought this way pre-UFC. Like, I don't know, like an angry child or something. I don't even know how to explain his fighting style. Maybe it's just because he's short that he kind of reminds me of like an angry child, but His fighting style is like just so goofy, and he gets hit a lot. He gets dropped every fight. Sometimes you'll watch him fight and you're like, this guy is the best 155er in the world. And then in that same fight, he will get submitted by Dustin Poirier, who I know has decent jiu-jitsu, but come on, bro. Dustin Poirier ain't submitted anybody since fucking pre-Reebok deal, pre-Venom deal. Dustin Poirier ain't submitted anybody since 2010, bro. What are we doing here? So he has to be full. It's only right. It's only right. The way he fights, and then outside of the cage, I mean, I don't really care who he adopts, but, some people may consider that retarded. Again, I don't personally care. And he's also a cheater in the octagon as well. I don't know about outside the octagon. I don't know. His wife, hopefully she don't see this. No, but inside the octagon, he is definitely, he's got to be full. He's got to be full. He's got to be full. So, Bryce Mitchell. This is interesting. Bryce Mitchell, this is dependent on, I guess, who you ask. Because some people would say he's full. Some people would say he's non. Some people would say he's slight. This is actually very tricky. I think Bryce Mitchell has things that he says that I think are definitely retarded. Him saying the earth is flat is, I've heard everyone say that before, right? So many people have said that since the beginning of the internet. Oh, the earth is flat, brother. The earth is flat. It doesn't make it, I don't even know if it's flat, so I can't even say it's retarded, because that's kind of just an opinion. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Is Bryce Mitchell, I'm going to say half. I think half is good, right? Because, I don't know, though. Him talking about the H-man, if you know, you know. Him saying that, and then, shit. The way he fights is fine, though. I don't think he fights like one, so that we can exclude that. I mean, he seems like a pretty decent guy. Shit. I'm gonna, is this controversial? I'm gonna say half. I don't want to put him full just because of like that one comment on the H-man, and then, the flat earth thing. It's like, could that bump him to mild? I think being a cuck is worse than anything Bryce Mitchell's done, to be honest with you. To be honest. Being a cuck is worse than anything Bryce has done. The flat earth thing, I don't know. Those are just words at the end of the day. Like, those are not really actions. Then again, didn't he screw jive his balls? Didn't he do that? Wait, I think he did do that before, right? Ooh. Wait, did he do that? Did he actually do? Oh, that's tricky then. Fuck it. Half. I'm keeping him at half. I don't care. Merab. Woo! Merab. This one's tricky too. He has a little bit of autism fighting style, to be honest. The emoting to the crowd constantly. Ooh. Wait, this is actually kind of tricky. I'll say, Merab. Fuck. He actually has Riz. He does pull girls. But that's because he has the tism, though, right? Because the girls like the tism a little bit. You got to be honest here. Fuck. The way he fights is a little bit, right? Some of the actions he does, like trying to do pull-ups on a swinging tree, and then he almost dies, and then emoting on a cliff. Ooh, diving headfirst into a frozen lake. You have to. You just have to. There's too. My brain is like remembering too many Merab moments. There's too many moments. I'm sorry. Brendan Allen. I mean, outside of the octagon, it's like, it's a lot of like, I mean, I've heard him say some delusional things. I think he said about DDP, like, DDP's had a lot of favorable matchups. Like, when he fought Adesanya, that was like a layup for DDP. I don't know what he said, but he's had a couple like weird interviews, and inside the octagon is really the issue, because out of anyone on this list, out of most of the guys on this list, except like the obvious, like Jiri and Chandler, he fights with the tism for sure. But he has one. He's shit. He makes a lot of low IQ moments. Outside the octagon, it's not super egregious. Inside the octagon, it is. He's more of a tard in the octagon than Bryce, and he has said some stupid shit outside the octagon, but nothing like crazy, but just like some delusional things. I'm kind of thinking slight. I'm gonna say slight. I don't know. I don't think he's on the level of Bryce, because Bryce has literally screwdrived his balls. Bryce is literally... One second. Excuse me. Bryce has screwdrived his balls. He thinks the earth is flat. He talked about the H-Man in a good light. There's a lot of things with Bryce, Yeah, you got to say... And Bryce has probably said more than that I can't even think of right now, but... Yeah, I would put Brendan out on the slight. The goal. Shamil Gaziev. Yes. Shamil... He's a non-retard. Shamil Gaziev is based. He's not retarded. He's just... The thing with Shamil Gaziev is he thinks on a level that other human beings can't process. He's like sort of the... Like Stephen Hawking of the UFC, in terms of his brain capacity works on a different level. You guys wouldn't understand, but he's not... And he's a non-tard for sure. Ilia Topuria. Now, I am biased. I love Ilia, but I also love like Jiri, and I love a lot of Shamil. I love Merab, so I am not putting my bias when I pick these. Ilia Topuria, man. Outside of the octagon, he's pretty delusional, right? But he always wins. That's the thing. Like, he says, I'm gonna be the first guy to knock out Holloway. He does it. And I know now he's saying, I'm going to sub Charles Oliveira, or I think he said he was going to sub Makhachev too. I guess we'll see at 317, but I don't think he's going to do that. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. He doesn't say anything like super offensive or anything. He just says he's going to win. In the octagon, he's definitely not. You got to say non, I think. Dare I say? What is really retarded about what he says? He's delusional at times, but his delusion usually works out for him. He's a bit of a supervillain, yes, he's a midget. But him being an evil midget doesn't make him a retard. I gotta say non-tard for Ilia, man. Belal, I forgot the name, Muhammad. Oof, Belal. Belal. I love you, Belal. I'm going to say, I think inside the octagon, he's not, to me. Even some people might say the JDM performance, he didn't shoot a takedown. He did. He shot 10 takedowns, which is on par for what he usually shoots in most of his fights. It's just that he's fallen in love with his striking, and it has worked for him recently against guys like Leon and Sean Brady. So he thought, I'm going to do the same thing to JDM, and I'm going to mix in the wrestling. Once he started getting pieced up, once his takedown started getting stuffed, it didn't work out for him. So that's only one fight, though. Even if you want to say that was like a retarded performance, that's one fight. Outside of the octagon, he's very delusional, but I think he's just playing a character. You gotta remember, guys, this is if I think they're like deep down, not their characters are retarded, but they themselves. Like, Yuri's not playing a character. Chandler in the octagon is not playing a character. That's how he fights. You know what I mean? So, yes, he might be trying to entertain, but my point is, Belal Muhammad, I think so. think so. I don't really, what's retarded about him? He seems pretty normal to me. In interviews, yes, he's delusional. Says he has hands like Canelo, but he knows, he's rage baiting borderline. I think so. I think he's a non-tard. I think that's fair. I think that is fair. I think he's a non-tard. Leon Edwards, come on, bro. What are we doing here? Of course. From inside the octagon, the mistakes he makes, the low IQ moments, the shooting a takedown against Sean Brady in his last fight, to, could have finished Belal Muhammad when he had top control and threw down those elbows, but he kind of just stopped. So many low IQ moments. Outside of the octagon, he acts like he acts like an autistic guy, bro. He just does. Bro. From the faces he makes, how awkward he is at times. He's just weird. He's just weird and awkward, and maybe he's just a shy guy, but you paired the outside of the octagon stuff with inside the octagon, I think it's fair. He has to be full. He has to be. I think it's fair. Marvin Vettori is interesting. I mean, he looks like an orc. He fights like an orc. Outside the octagon, he gets a little bit angry. I'm not sure. Marvin Vettori. His interviews seem okay. Also you got to remember English isn't his first language, so, if he says some dumb shit, it's kind of like, Doesn't he say the N-word on Twitter? Who I just forgot? I forgot Paulo Costa. I could have put him on here, but we'll save him for part 2, but let me know if you guys want a part 2. Just comment down below you want a part 2. Marvin Vettori. Fuck. I'm going to say mild. I mean, inside the octagon is you could say is full. Outside the octagon ain't that bad, though. Yeah, he makes a lot of... Yeah, I'd say mild. I don't know. He's never said anything super crazy outside the octagon for me to be like, whoa. And then inside the octagon, it's he kind of just... I mean, he fights like a tard, but he also just fights like he's low level. So... I mean, you could, but I would keep him at mild. I don't think he's on the level of Leon, Merab. I don't think he's on the level of these guys, man. Shama. He only knows one word. He doesn't fight like one, so we could exclude that. Tricky. I'm going to say he seems like a normal guy outside the octagon. His interviews seem normal. He has emotion. I mean, I've seen him cry. When he shaved that kid's head. I've seen him smile. The Shama thing might make you think he is, but, it's just a catchphrase. I'm going to say non. I don't think he has any of those aspects to him. JDM. This one's kind of easy. I'm going to say slight for JDM. I don't think JDM... Yeah, I'm going to say slight. Inside the octagon, he makes very high IQ decisions. Outside the octagon, he's kind of like a Leon in terms of, but he's not like Leon because Leon puts it on for the cameras. He's way more himself, but himself is very, I just won the fucking title, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. Just, I'll fight Francis Ngannou next, or I'll fight fucking Tom Aspinall. I don't really care. He just doesn't care. This guy literally doesn't care. He'll fight anybody. He's already back training. He's going to fight Makhachev. Then he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he won the belt. He didn't even look that happy when he won it. He just had the same expression. He doesn't care. I would just say slight because he kind of has that shy-tism where it's just yeah, this guy's he's a little bit shy, but yeah, I'll say slight. I might, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, and we have Reinier de Ridder here, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like Brendan Allen has more than JDM. I think you got to bump Brendan Allen to half a tard. Because I think JDM is way less than Brendan Allen, so I don't think they should be on the same level. Sorry, Brendan Allen. You're up there with Bryce Mitchell, bro. Reinier de Ridder. Ooh. Inside the octagon, it's like goofy 101. Outside the octagon, it's pretty normal. I'd say. Inside the octagon, it's definitely sheesh. Ooh, he's like a high mild. He's close. He's a high mild just because of the way he fights. High mild. And that face he makes, that like derpy face, like, you know, that just like plain face, the face that he's making right there in that image. He has to be mild, but he's like a high mild. So Arnold Allen, ooh, he fights a little bit like one at times. Outside the octagon, he's a little bit, but it's not that much, to be honest. He just seems like a goofy guy. He seems a little bit like a goofy guy, a nerdy guy. He's a little bit shy. He's like, yeah, you know, I don't know, I just, yeah, you know, he's kind of like, he's a little bit like JDM, to be honest with you. He reminds me actually a lot of JDM, so I'll say slight for him as well. Because, yeah, he's the kind of guy that will knock out Gene Silva and be like, yeah, you know, I just, I think I should get a title shot next, and yeah, you know. Like, I'm going to say slight as well. Maybe you could go like, I wouldn't say half. I'd say a high slight just because of the way he fights sometimes, where he does look a little bit like one, but yeah. Oh, John Silva. Do I have to explain it? Do I have to explain it? I really don't have to explain it. I don't have to. Dan Hooker. I mean, I'm not going to explain. Come on, guys. Do I have to? Even outside the octagon, this guy is like... Outside of the octagon, this guy acts... Oh, no, I'm not going to... It's Gene Silva. That's all I got to say. I should have just named it the Gene Silva tier. Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's interesting. Outside the octagon, he's a little bit... He's normal. He's decently normal, but he's a bit of a nut job, Dan Hooker, man. He's a little bit of a nut job, man. Like, you guys see, he's I think Horse Beef MMA, shout out to him. He did a good video on Dan Hooker's running like this, like, backyard fighting league, and yeah, that's pretty wild. So he's a little bit of a nut job. I love this shit, boys. That's pretty wild. The way he fights a little bit as well, you know, he gets hit, he smiles, and he's a crazy guy. Ooh, I'm going to say mild. Dare I say full? I'm going to say mild. I'm going to say mild, but it's like a high mild. It's a high, excuse me. Sorry. It's a high mild. It's a very high mild. I think that's fair, because it's like his interviews are pretty normal. It's pretty safe. He doesn't say nothing too crazy. In the octagon, he's a bit of a nut job. He likes a war. He likes to scrap. But, you know, if his interviews were like I don't even know, like Ian Garry levels, I'd put him full. But then again, Ian Garry's playing a character, so I don't know. Islam Makhachev. Ooh, Islam. I think I'm going to say... He's over half because he has the retard strength. He also has that sort of that weird look where he kind of like leaves his mouth open. He does have a lot of jokes, but he doesn't like really say anything too like quote unquote retarded. He does look a little bit retarded. That's the thing. When he leaves his mouth open, you guys know where he does that thing where he's like looks like glossy eye and he's like, you know, all derpy. Sometimes he looks a little bit retarded, a little bit. When he's throwing in the pocket a little bit and he's like swinging with his head down, I'm like, what is this guy doing? I'm going to say mild. I'm going to say mild again. I don't think he's got retard strength, but his interviews are pretty normal. He's a funny guy. I don't think that makes him retarded because he has a sense of humor. And he does make that face, though. He does make that face where he leaves his mouth open. Oh, that's tricky. I'll say mild. I think I'm going to say mild. I think that's fair. Sean Strickland. Whew, this egghead, man. I'm so sick of this guy. The way he fights at times does look very retarded. The way he looks. We haven't really talked about looks. A little bit with Jiri. Most of these guys look normal, though, to be honest. Strickland does look retarded. Look at this egghead, his shitty mustache. Some of the stuff he says, I mean, all of the stuff he says can be seen as retarded. Many things he says I don't agree with. Look, some things he says, I'm like, okay, maybe Strickland has a point here, has a point there. But a lot of things he says, I'm like, yo, this guy is... So, I mean, he's said the worst things of anyone on this list. Of anyone, even that we haven't brought up yet, he has said the worst things. Not done. We'll get to someone who's done worse. So, you guys already know. But, said, just off of his words, I know it's his opinion, but I mean, I don't know, it's different than like what Bryce Mitchell says. Bryce Mitchell will say the H-Man was a good guy and then the earth was flat, but Sean Strickland literally was like, there was this chick that wanted to get into the UFC that died, and she was like I think she was like 18, I think, and he was like, oh, why are you guys crying over this girl? And bro, Strickland he's got to be full, bro. I don't care. Making fun of dead people and just, bro, some of the stuff he says, I think he does. I don't think he plays a character, man. I don't think he plays a character. I think this is how the guy legitimately is. He's probably nicer in person. Like, he's probably just more quiet and reserved in person, but more quiet. Why'd I say like quiet? Islam Makhachev. But anyways, I'm going to say full. The way he fights as well, it's just... He's also got that big egghead. Speaking of eggheads, Justin Gaethje. Full. I mean, inside the octagon. I mean, you got the backflips. You got just the way this guy fights. I mean, apparently, did you know this guy like throws punches with like... I forgot. I read somewhere that he throws punches with like his foot knuckles like touching the mat or something. It's really odd. Because he always hurts his feet after his fights. And it's because he punches like in a way with his feet. It's really, I don't know, look into it. But he doesn't know how to properly throw a punch. But he somehow has enough retard power to drop everybody he fights. Even Max Holloway he dropped, which people forget about that. People forget, man. So, also the stuff he says outside the octagon. Like, if one man can hold you down, two can R-word you. And... Remember when you guys remember when he put like his dog on his back or something? He's like, this is how I walk my dog, and he was walking his dog with his dog on his back. Like, this guy he's definitely full. He's definitely full. He has to be. Volkanovski. He's a little bit delusional, but his delusion has got him success. Right, him being delusional about coming back at 37 to try to win a belt against a dangerous power puncher. Bro, he was going to come back to fight Ilia. And then Ilia was like, no, I'm moving up. And he fought Diego, which is the second most dangerous option for him. It wasn't like it was Evlev or Lerone Murphy. So he fought the two most dangerous guys back to back. He lost to Ilia. But even before that, before he lost to Ilia, he had just got KO'd by Makhachev. So he had stepped up on short notice to fight Islam Makhachev on 2 weeks' notice. He got head kick KO'd. Then he fought Ilia Topuria, 3-4 months later? Quick turnaround because he wanted to be active. Then he lost to Ilia. Then he went off for a year. Then he came back and fought Diego Lopez. But the thing is, of those last 3 fights, he only won one of them. So, his delusion is it's gotten him where he's at, but he's also, like, lost out of his own delusion. Like, him losing to Makhachev and Ilia back-to-back, and then beating Diego, though, it's kind of, fuck. I'm going to say slight, I think. Just because stepping up on 2 weeks' notice to fight Islam Makhachev, and then doing that quick, that stretch just makes me think he's slight, bro. I have to. Just because of that stretch of, like, fighting Makhachev, then fighting Topuria within a span of 6 months, 5 months. It's just, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, he does almost have a bit of like an obsessive sort of like, I have to win the belt. I mean, being 37 and trying to win the belt back. But hey, he did it. So that's why I only put him at slight. Dricus du Plessis. Retard strength. Right? So he can't be non because he has the retard strength. Outside the octagon, he's an S tier level gaslighter, but this is not a gaslighting tier list. It's inside the octagon, man. He's one of the most retarded fighters. The way he fights, the blitz, the takedown sometimes. Dude, he literally headbutted Strickland's hip. But outside the octagon, he's very normal. He's a normal guy. So I'll put him half just because of how goofy his style is, I think. But to be honest, if I'm going to put Reinier de Ridder at mild, I'm going to have to put him at... No, he's got to be over half, right? I think I'm going to put him at mild. I think so, but I feel like he's more than Reinier. That's the thing. But they're pretty equal, though, to be honest with you. They're just goofy in their own ways. I mean, hell, Reinier de Ridder almost lost to GM3 on his debut. Fuck. You know what? Reinier de Ridder, I might bump him down to half. I'm going to put Reinier down at half, I think. I think that's fair. DDP goes to mild. I don't think DDP is full, just because his interviews are very normal. If this guy had, like, JDM level interviews, he is like winning the whole thing. He is the fullest of the full, but he has pretty normal interviews. He's a pretty normal guy, normal looking guy, normal sounding guy. So Anshul Jubli. Anshul Jubli is interesting. The thing is with Anshul Jubli, he has a level of greatness that a lot of fighters, he's reached such a level that a lot of fighters can't even dream of reaching. The amount of titles he's won, the amount of women he's bagged, Anshul Jubli is literally like taking everyone's girl. So I think to reach this level of Chad, though, you might have to be a bit, I don't know. There was that time, though, that he tried to scam my grandmother. And that's the thing that I don't like about him, is he is a scammer. Fuck. I'm going to say... I'm going to actually, in all seriousness, I'm going to say probably like... Dude, this is the same guy that said he could beat Khabib. Yes, I could beat Khabib. If all I got to do is win the first round and I KO him in the second. Or submit him. I do not care. That's my best Indian accent, by the way. Indian impression. Let's go slight. Because if you think you can beat Khabib, then you get KO'd back-to-back in your last two fights. Slight. I appreciate the delusion, but you're not that guy, pal. And then Jon Jones. The final guy on this list, by the way. Jon Jones. Jon Jones. Yeah. I'm going to go... I mean, what can I say? The fact that I even had to pretend like I was thinking about that one. I was pretending. I already knew once I clicked him where I was putting him. He's got to be full, right? I mean, from running over a pregnant woman, or at least attempting to. I don't know if he actually did. To taking steroids, hiding under a freaking octagon for 6 hours because you don't want to be tested by USADA. From all kinds of things. Being your wife. I mean, I can keep going. Now the stuff he's doing, he's also gay. Don't forget about that. He's gay. So, yeah, I mean, he has to be full. He has to be full. There's not even really a question or a debate or I don't even have to break this one down. It's just look at his track record. Excuse me. Look at the things he's done in his life and in his career. The way he fights, he's a genius in the octagon, though. But I don't care, bro. He will forever be the biggest retard. Honestly, he's more retarded than Jiri, to be honest with you. I think that's only fair. And I think it's only fair we end it there. It's funny enough, actually, because It's funny enough. It's funny though. See, I'm retarded too. That's why I'm allowed to do this video. It's funny because I actually have Belal again one more time by accident. But nonetheless, that's about it for today. Make sure you guys like and sub. Did you guys enjoy this tier list? Let me know in the comments. Did you guys disagree with my rankings? Again, these are my rankings here. Did you guys agree, disagree? Appreciate you guys for watching. God bless you all. Peace.